life. I just wanted to address something quickly, right, and just drop this video here. So there's this current argument happening with the episode 2 video of the Approach movie series. First of all, I want to thank you all for watching this video series. Thank you so much for engaging, for sharing, for bringing your friends. It's just so overwhelming, and I don't even know where to start from, but I'm super, super grateful, right? Now, in the episode 2, we had a situation where, the husband is a picky eater, and she wasn't really sure of what to cook. Eventually, she was able to cook fried rice in the morning, but he said he wanted English breakfast, which she refused. And afterwards, after fighting a bit, they settled. And somehow, after settling, they apologized to themselves, and then the ladies, the husband was actually okay with eating the fried rice. But then she's like, oh, don't worry, let me go and make it for you. And people were very upset about that. The truth is, there is a space for compromise, and there's also a space for peaceful ending. And while I agree that many times it's okay to allow your partner to learn what it means to do things that they have never done before based on the belief that they have acquired over time, there are also times where when you notice that your partner has learned the lesson, has picked the points, you go on and have maybe a peaceful ending, but you also make it clear that this is something that will not always repeat itself. So that means that another time, if this issue comes up again, they have to be able to borrow wisdom from what has happened and be able to make it clear that, hey, if I'm not able to reach you, whatever I cook, you're going to have to eat it. But because we're having a peaceful ending, I'm just giving this to you just so that we both have, ease of mind. And trust me, as spouses, it all depends on what you want to do or what you think is okay at that very time. If you feel like you rather allow your husband to eat fried rice, it's fine. If you feel like, oh, you can just get up and make swallow with soup, that's completely fine. It all depends on who you both are, and sometimes it's really all about projection. Now, even for me, when I wrote the storyline, I probably did not have that part of, oh, let me go and make another food for you. But eventually it was harder to eat, right? And I saw it later on when I was watching the end of the video. When I was watching the edited videos, and there I had some like, oh, this part I feel like we should have just ended here at all. But then it's fine because it's our first time. We're learning a lot of things, and the media team that worked with me were very fantastic. They really made this work, and I'm very excited about that. So over time, the point here is whether you go on to have a compromise that the husband should eat the fried rice, or you decide to do a peaceful end where it's okay to go and make the food. The most important thing is to pick the wisdom and sit down and agree with yourself. I can see about 46 people live. Thank you for joining. Welcome. I'm just talking briefly about conversations around the Approach movie series, where we had some people who were upset about the end of the episode 2 because there was a place where compromise should have been thought, but then it's ended up in a peaceful ending. And I just wanted to share that it just depends on the kind of couples that are involved, and most importantly, bringing the wisdom into other times, because there will also be times where it will not still pick the call and she has to cook what she needs to do. This happens everywhere. It continues to baffle me when I see a lot of couples where fresh meals have to be made. I don't know how people do it, because I feel like I cannot cope with that, And over time, we do not sometimes know that the things that we learned from our family are not necessarily what we want to continue to do. But sometimes we see her dad, our fathers do certain things. We'll forget the fact that it was stressful for mommy. But then we just pick it up and say, oh yeah, my wife must always cook, fresh meals. The question is, what about you learning how to make this fresh meal, so that at least you also make it some time? Because why should your wife continue to be the one making it every single day? And this has also become like a culture in some marriages where the wife is mandated to cook fresh meals every day, and it's so stressful. Me, I'm always big on love. When you really love someone, your focus is on ease, on care. If you have a chef in the house, that's fantastic. But if you don't have a chef and it's just your wife having to cook these meals every time, then you don't want to always overload your spouse with cooking fresh meals every day. Wherever that belief came from, sit down and troubleshoot it and ask yourself, how can we both meet in the middle to make this work for us, regardless of how our schedules are, and all of that. It's really about just meeting in the middle, not insisting that, oh, this is how you want it, it has to be this way, it must be this way. It's really about balancing everything, checking each other's schedules, seeing how things should be. Marriage is not a place where, oh, because now you're married, your spouse must always bow to whatever you want, and you always have to get whatever you want, regardless of how it's going to be painful to your spouse or stressful to your spouse. There's wisdom. There's a place for wisdom, and I believe strongly that we must always speak the wisdom and allow ourselves to get better over time. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share. It was live. It was fun coming live on YouTube. This is my first time coming live here, and I want to do more of it. Maybe just come and talk about some topics, different topics. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in another video some other time. Bye. See you guys later. And also, I want you to tell me, what are the other kinds of issues that you would like to see play out in the movie series? We currently have 13 episodes with 13 different stories, but we also want to still bring more stories for you. So tell me, what are those other stories that you feel like, hey, I would like to see this or that? Tell me about it. I can see Mali, Lake or something. Thanks for joining. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.